ditch your logic and rational thinking if you want to manifest your desired reality. For real, logic is simply a lie. So how could you let someone that doesn't even know you truly deep inside to define your experience, to define your reality? In this video, we will talk about rational thinking and logic and how it involves in the process of manifestation, reality creation. Should it really involve in the process? We will talk about that. And I will share the pure manifestation state that you can tap into and get into, create your desired reality, as well as see the manifestation of it. Let's get into it. I like to be educated. Hello and welcome to Creative Transformation. I'm your host and alignment coach, Aslı. I help beautiful souls like yourself to align their 3D realities with their true potential. And you deserve it. You so deserve to live up to your full potential. So don't forget to check out my links below. Okay, let's ditch logic today. Why I say this? I was a very logical person, first of all. I always believed I was the most logical, rational thinking person, rational-minded person, and for me there was nothing like your heart's voice or your heart's desires or emotions. For me it was a weakness, being emotional. Weakness. And heart could never speak. I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't feel anything. So for me, it was a whole different world. It was based on logic and mind. But then one day I came to the realization that it was not all about the mind. In fact, it was very much about the heart. For a deeper talk on this, you may check out this video that I leave here. But yeah, I figured it was very much about the heart. So I found myself trying to stop my mind, trying to deactivate it, to open my energetic field, to open my heart, to tap into my heart's electromagnetic field. I found myself trying to stop my monkey mind. I figured I could do meditations, I could get deeper levels of consciousness, I could access deeper levels of my subconscious and conscious mind, raise my level of consciousness as well, and create another reality. So I was stunned, literally. For me, it was the revolution that it was possible to create anything you desire with your own power for yourself. It was really the revolution. Yeah, then I got involved in all of this that I'm telling you about right now, and that is how I manifested my desires. So I hope the same for you. To start with, what's logic and what's rational thinking? We need to make a clear distinction here because sometimes we use it interchangeably, but they are not really the same thing. Logic is for validating an argument or a structure. It's about making sense of it, I guess. And if we simply put it, it looks like this. All humans are mortal. Socrates is a human, so Socrates is mortal. This is logic. You came to the conclusion based on these two assumptions. You validated the idea. And for logic to be activated, your brain's prefrontal cortex, the part about rational thinking, needs to get into work. And when it comes to rational thinking, it's more evidence-based. It's more about cohesive thinking. I think better than logic, of course. But again, it's the brain's prefrontal cortex and amygdala that is activated and working to make that sort of assumption or make it function. And so you see the danger when amygdala gets activated, the fear center of the brain, the part that is always alert, looking for danger, looking for what's wrong, trying to alert you and make you fear and anxious, and the part that activates fight or flight mode is being activated in rational thinking. Can you see the danger? We are trying to get out of the fight or flight mode. We are trying to get into relax and digest, but we use the amygdala, we activate it when we're trying to rationally think and decide. Does it mean we're never gonna do it? No, of course. We live in a 3D world. We live in a very ration-based world. We will do it, but there is a limit, the distinction we need to make before activating amygdala. But let me ask you this. How did you come to know what's logical and what's not logical? What's right, what's wrong, what's true, what's not? Logic is learned. You learned logic. We learned it from our parents. We learned it from environments, experiences. Same as other things that we learned, for instance, limiting beliefs, stories, interpretations, all of that, which we are trying to unlearn at the moment. Logic is also learned. It's not only learned, but it also based on your subconscious, whatever it is in your subconscious. It's based on your subconscious because when you were a kid, you were learning about the world, yourself, this whole experience. You interpreted your experience in a certain way. You had certain beliefs which affected your way of looking at things, your perception, which also shaped your actions, feelings, and thoughts. And in turn, they shaped your 3D experience, and then you got different beliefs and perceptions from all of that. And so we learned all these experiences based on the subconscious beliefs, what we thought to be true, logical, right, valid, and so on. And we learned them from our caregivers, parents, friends, teachers. So they are simply lies that we've been told. You can easily leave it out. It's a lie. You don't need it. You learned it. It's not your truth. You learned it from different people. And those different people, although they may be your parents, although they may be family and their friends, doesn't matter. Even with good intentions, they didn't know anything about your reality, your universe, your experience, and your true potential. Logic is that. You learned it. And rational thinking is kind of the same. It's affected from your subconscious beliefs and the habits of your body and your mind, but it's not the same as logic, because rational thinking is like a function. It's evidence-based. It's cohesive thinking. So you can shape that with your consciousness, with awareness to a certain degree, and it can work. So whatever. Before we dive into the most important part of this video, let's quickly recap. Your rational thinking and logic is activating the prefrontal cortex, which can involve amygdala and can activate the fight or flight mode if it overworks. We don't want that because fight or flight is a very low frequency, but we want to thrive, we want to get into relax and digest to create the reality that we want. We want to unleash the full potential, live up to the potential, live from the potential, not from limitations. We want to live from the full potential. That means we need to quiet the mind. And you know, when your mind, your logic, and your rational thinking quiets down, when you get into alpha and theta states, when you relax, that's the time when they quiet down. And what happens when you quiet the monkey mind? You can tap into your higher self, your higher level of consciousness, or your heart center, I would call. You can tap into your heart center, you can tap into your creative power, and you can tap into your imagination, which is where the creation happens. When you don't think with your mind, when the mind doesn't interfere with the process, you have this open space of possibilities. It's vortex. It's quantum field where all the desired realities as well as opportunities reside. And this field can only be reached if you're relaxed, if you transcend your mortal human being, if you transcend your consciousness, if you go beyond the limitations of your subconscious and as well as your ego being. This point right now is the point where there is no doubt, no fear, there is no disbelief or limiting beliefs that you're not enough and capable and worthy. Why? Because now you're in your imagination, and what you create here, you create limitlessly. There are no limits, and there is no fear or doubt because you don't use your brain. Amygdala is not active. There is not even your body involved. You act from a higher being, a higher consciousness, which is limited. So there is no reason to be fearful of any limitations, any consequences. There is no reason to be doubtful of your creation power, because what you create, what you imagine is already created. And this is really all there is about reality creation. Once you tap into this state, you imagine what you desire, what your heart desires. You know it, you feel it, you experience it. You're already in that field of endless possibilities. There is no doubt that this may be real. It is real. You created it. Only thing left is manifestation. Is that reality becoming visible to you in the 3D? That's all there is left. Once you create your desired reality, that is all there is left to it, manifesting itself in the 3D. Now we are back in the 3D. There are limitations again, subconscious again, low self-concept, limiting beliefs, all of our actually self-imposed limitations. Since we are back in the 3D, we have the idea, it's only an idea, that we are limited, that we can't have it, we don't have it, the desired reality can't be seen, it's not here, because your mind and your eyesight are limited as well. And so there comes the doubt, there comes the fear, there comes the shame, there comes the unworthiness, there comes these stories that we tell ourselves, which are actually lies. You know that. You experience your potential, you experience imagination, that quantum field, you experienced this fearless, limitless version of you. Why do you want to go back to the 3D? Why do you want to go back to the logic, rational thinking? Why do you act with your monkey mind? So yeah, this is not to say just lie in the bed and live in your imagination all day. Of course not. Once we embody the version of us that is living in the desired reality, once we embody that power lies within us, that unlimited potential, we come back to the 3D, start acting from it, embodying it, manifesting it. We come back to the 3D to take inspired action, to enjoy life, to enjoy the present moment, while the desired reality is getting closer, while the desired reality is manifesting itself. You're not limited with the constraints of time and place. There is no doubt, there is no fear whether it's gonna happen, it's not gonna happen. I've already created it. I am so sure, so confident, so convinced that I have created it. I know it will happen if I stay aligned, if I stay true to my desire, if I keep my aligned frequency, if I keep my aligned state. I know it's so gonna happen. Why would I be fearful? Why would I have doubt? So yeah, this is a kind reminder to deactivate the amygdala. No, I'm not saying that, but maybe give a little bit less power to your logic and your rational thinking if you're trying to manifest something, because when they overwork, when your prefrontal cortex overworks, your amygdala interferes with the process, makes you fearful, makes you doubtful, makes you get frantic. Where is it? Is it gonna happen? And you get off the alignment. You get off the aligned state, relaxation, the core frequency, true potential. You get off the alignment. Now you're back in the limited mode again. You're back in your monkey mind. You're back in subconscious beliefs. You're back in the human form. You're also back in fulfilling your ego self and its emotional needs. So they are all feeding each other, and they all belong to this side of the story, the side that we're trying to let go and release so that we can tap into the new desired reality where limitless, endless possibilities are possible and we are capable of creating that desired reality. I hope this video has helped you. I'm sure it did. You may still need help, and if you want to work one-on-one with me to create the desired reality that you want, to stay aligned throughout the day, don't forget to check out my links. I love you so much. You are so loud, so worthy. See you in the next one.